we move on into the Rift. Celebrity has gone to this Aphelios, a champion that has done him a lot of good in the past, but your way, is it going to be enough in this game number 3?
He has played a lot of Aphelios, so it's definitely comfort, which he might need, because, his teamfight positioning has not really been getting better over the course of the series, so going back to his most played, and a champion he has played a lot even before this split, might be the first... Oh, that's a hook on Zuhao. Do they have the damage? Doesn't look like it. This is dangerous.
Ooh, this is very dangerous. Celebrity extremely low. He's ignited. He won't die from it, but my word, he gets close.
Yeah, they forgot about Aphelios having nothing but auto attacks level 1, and even though he got some nice auto attacks, even Sector's Lethal Temper early on, having an ability level 1 is kinda good. So now level 2, oh, Palette disrespected level 2 as well, he might have to flash. Good Q. Very nicely done. That's not the start Aphelios and Celebrity were hoping for. No summoner spells left, only the flash for Palette, and in dire straits down here. They might have to call DNK for early jungle attention, but even that is prevented by this early ward. And now Zuhao is level 2, which means Black Shield, which means almost ungankable. So everything is coming up secret, even this early in game 3.
Yeah, particularly Pantheon's typical approach to a gank is just so easy to stop by a Morgana. If you don't hit him with Black Shield, if the Black Shield's not on cooldown, you still have the Dark Binding. Pantheon kind of just does have to run in a straight line at you. Celebrity getting winged by a Boomerang Blade, taken even lower.
So what he can do in this lane is Palette baiting out the Black Shield and then flash stun from DNK, maybe, on the other target. If you're able to get that working... Oh, that was a close Q. This is super risky for them to go for anyway, because Celebrity is so low. So if Penguin counter ganks, they're doomed. Penguin just walking past DNK. Did they not see each other?
They did. There was the Vision Plant, the Scry's Bloom was used. Penguin even gave DNK the thumbs up to be like, yeah, we both know where each other are.
That is very curious, because DNK didn't even contest that Scuttle Crab. Instead, they're just going to trade. Now DNK on the top side. So let's talk a little bit about DNK, Pantheon. We already brought out DNK and Engage champions. Now Pantheon is the quintessential Engage champ, and he's also the playmaking champ. Last game, after seeing the draft, we said, okay, and SBTC needs to be more proactive. They need to look for plays in the early game. They actually need to make stuff happen. Now they picked the Pantheon, and Pantheon worked against Team Secret on a very different team. SGB in game 1 stomped them. So here we go.
Dashes down. There's the stun coming in. They just need to find the rest of the damage, and that's not going to be hard at all, and that will be a first blood for DNK.
That's a mirror of the game.
Mid lane immediately. Tier 1 has that flash, though.
Yeah, easy escape. Now he's a little bit vulnerable. And we have seen Taliyah Pantheon attempted by a few teams, not very successfully. It has that potential lockdown and insta-burst that everyone is fantasizing about. Let's see if DR1 and DNK can make it work in this game. But finally, a first blood to SPTC and a little bit of a sign of life for this team that's down 0-2.
Yeah, and this is just textbook.
There's not much to talk about.
Comes out of the bush, hero already had Slice and Dice on cooldown, just caught being over-aggressive.
Yeah, importantly, of course, the Slice and Dice, yeah, as you said, was down, so nothing really for him to do. He did try to flash away, but that was maybe even ill-advised, because I don't think he had any chance of getting out of there with all the follow-up from the side of Enper and DNK. DNK still has his flash, now with a kill over to the Pantheon. He is a powerhouse in the early game, and he might be looking to flash on top of Artifact, because even though Artifact is a LeBlanc, if you flash stun him into knock-up from DR1, you might be able to just burst him down anyway.
It's very possible, and but there's someone else I want to talk about. It is Enper, because Enper, for the majority of the split, particularly when SE was winning, was playing this Gnar. He was playing carries. As we said, he had 40 plus solo kills. That is a ridiculous number in a Worlds qualifying region. Then he pivoted to these tanks. He was playing the Ornn. It just really just looked off suit. I hated it. But he's back on the Gnar your way. What do we think?
Yeah, I'm hopeful. On his Riven, he was not inspiring, and his Gnar is losing so far in CS early on, which is alright into this matchup. Mini Gnar got nerfed a lot, so he has to be very careful with his early HP values. It's alright to fall behind against Renekton in the early game. He enabled the gank as well, so might have sacrificed a few CS to get the lane into position. So far, so good. Enper really needs to step up because he has been quite muted, subdued in this whole run of the playoffs, and he was one of the main carries, as you pointed out. One of the highest damage percentages of all the league's top laners, and yeah, he needs to be the carry threat. He needs to be the side lane menace. He needs to be able to single out the enemy ADC, as he was able to do even against Style in some of the games. The Akali game, the last one, into Gam, he didn't do much, but at least he was able to find a few mechanical outplays. So all eyes on Enper in this game once again.
In terms of where the teams have their eyes, though, it's the bot lane, as the junglers are once again hovering down there. There's been some vicious trading back and forth. It's currently SE with a significant health lead, and there's a flash forward. The Gravitum doesn't get blocked by the spell shield. Eddie, low. Can he get anything more? No, he can't. He will fall. Celebrity incredibly low, and they're just going to try and trade it back. Zhu Hao will get that one. Can he get out? No, he can't. 2 for 1 in the bot side.
That's still a very good trade because the kill went over to the support, so you can kind of ignore that. Oh, that's actually a connection. Didn't see that coming. Dia1 able to not die with his flash down. That's very good to see. Dia1 has been struggling very, very hard in this series, so he needs a stable performance. He's 10 CS down. That's all right. That's your jungler is carrying, so just don't die. Just don't snowball the enemy. That was a weird interaction with the spell shield. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I think 2 spells hit at once, so the spell shield got confused. And yeah, in the end, it's a 2-kill lead for SBTC, and just 1 kill back over to the side of Zhu Hao, which is not enough. TS instantly call for the top side objective, though. That's good to see, because SBTC is in no position to contest for the Dragon. As TS, once again in this series, we've seen a lot of teams not being able to trade top against bot objective, something we expect from everyone. So once this is an opportunity for Team Secret to come back immediately and just secure both of the early objectives for themselves.
So my understanding of how Aphelios interacts with the Sivir Spell Shield, and I'm not 100% sure on this, is actually that Gravitum does its effect in 2 stages. It does the damage, which gets blocked, and then it roots, which does not get blocked. So I think Gravitum is actually a hard counter to Sivir Spell Shield. As, bad on the bot side. There's Hero in a lot of trouble. Big heal, but not big enough.
Beautifully done. Very nice juggling. Just don't even have to flash out of there. I mean, they didn't have a flash available. Now, SBTC defending on the top side. If they're able to pull this off. Oh, Enper! Going crazy!
Just going absolutely sicko mode. Does so much damage. Dia1 is there. Gets the knock back. Penguin will go down. Eddie is on a microscopic amount of health. He needs to be so careful. But Artifact is here. Some rocks are thudding into him, though. I don't think they can continue this play as, yeah, Dia1's going to live.
Meantime, there's a Chakram Aphelios working on the bot tower. There's only 1 plate remaining against the team that has the Herald. Eddie is still here. Eddie, you need to be insanely careful. Any stray thing hitting you and you're dead, but he's able to remain unscathed. 10 minutes in, 6-2 in kills. SBTC has come to life finally in game 3, and we might be looking. They are not they're not out. They've not given up. They want their chance at going to Worlds. And this is the start of the comeback, potentially. Very nicely done from Dia1. Finds the angle to go in there and instantly shoves Zhu Hao out of the fight. Another good Q to get Zhu Hao. And Enper was so close to actually killing Eddie. Look at this here. Enper, this last auto attack, oh, just a little bit more oomph and he would have killed Eddie. And that would have been a 3-0 on the top side against nothing, just defending the tower. So very good defensive play from the side of SPTC. Brings them to an early gold lead. The Dragon is the next thing in my eye, so let's see if they focus on it too. Sorry.
This is something we were talking about in the break, something that we have mixed opinions of, that the VCS does, is it's that break in between the games. Normally, the break's about 10 minutes. You know, that's just enough time for them to go off stage, you know, have something very small to eat, go to the bathroom, get back on. Then they do this 20-minute break, and it resets the mental.
Yeah, and the exact same thing happened in the other series as well, where Team Secret got stomped in 2 games. They got obliterated in Game 2 by Saigon Buffalo. Game 1 was already dominant. Game 2 was barely 22 minutes, not even, I think. And then 20-minute break, and suddenly Secret was much more competitive. They still ended up losing because Shogun was not going to lose any games on that day. But SPTC against Secret could do the same. And the interesting thing, there's another parallel, which is this Pantheon. really not a DNK champion, but it was very successful at shutting down Team Secret in Game 1. Secret was so scared of the Pantheon after losing to it in Game 1 against SGB that they just banned it for the rest of the series. So if they are able to find this win on the Pantheon, suddenly there's so much more to keep in mind about the pick and bans for games 4 and 5, because suddenly there's the threat of the Pantheon, and you don't want to lose twice to that.
No, you don't. And, oh no, another catch here as Penguin's in trouble, has Black Shield and a flag and drag to get him to safety. But you can see SE are so much more assertive in this game. They're just not letting anything go without a fight.
Yeah, and looking at this game, I don't understand why they didn't try this on the last game. I was so disappointed with their inactivity in the last game, but they're finally woken up. Maybe they just needed this pause to wake up.
To the top side, Eddie's already used the ultimate. They're moving in onto Enpa. Has the full Nah bar, but the wallet will get spell shielded. Yes, Penguin comes in, lovely Nah, but not good enough. Dia1 is here, but he's in a 3v1, but he reckons he can do it your way because he's got Paulette coming in as backup. Flash forced out of Eddie. Zuhao currently zoning them all off. Lovely stuff out of this Morgana.
It's a win for Secret, but only one kill, and they're losing positioning. They also lost their flash for Eddie, so the next dragon fight is going to be hard. This might actually result in a tower for SBTC, so even though Enper was chased down, he bought so much time and Dia1 reacted so quickly, this could result in an overall game victory, a run of play in favor of SBTC. So does Team Secret have anything to say about this? Because losing another tower would be devastating.
It absolutely would be, but they try and collapse onto DNK, will land the knock-up. They want to try and keep him away from the wall, but Pantheon just puts up the shield and gets on out of there. Oh my word! Celebrity finds the damage, takes them down, but now they're trapped in the Rage Cage against the Boomerang Blade, and it's going to be Artifact and Penguin picking up a kill.
Both of these teams are here to fight. We are back to the pace of Game 1. Game 2 was a little bit of an alteration where we had a very slow early game with no kills really to either side, and then SPTC going out with a whimper really, not really fighting their way back into the game. But here they are, they're looking for plays. This one was a little bit ill-advised, I have to admit. DNK going too far forward, and then
Celebrity didn't even actually have to flash.
Yeah. He had the kill, but he thought he had to flash, and this dooms him into this rage cage. Even DNK dies with him because he didn't follow the first rule of League. Never help.
Yep. Don't save your friends. You're better off leaving them to their fate. But oh well, DNK, he's just too nice a guy. We are now back at remarkably even gold, considering how action-packed this game has been. Only 500 gold, roughly, separating these two teams.
What?
Hit that Dark Binding kind of hits out of nowhere. Paulette's now in a lot of trouble, has had to burn the stopwatch, and he just goes down. Lovely stuff from Zuhao, really stepping up this game.
Zuhao is here to show the world how easy support is. You can just roll swap over from jungle and decimate all the good VCS supports, apparently.
Apparently you can. Morgana, of course, is a jungle champion, if you're cool, as Enpa will find Artifact in a bush, half health on this Rift Herald. There's income the ultimate. Enpa moving in, bangs them into the wall. The combo is fantastic. Team Secret, more like Team Dead. That's terrible, but so was the play.
It's Enper! He's back! He's finally on his regular season form. They gave him the Nah finally. So many games on Nah, he has looked amazing. He didn't get a solo kill this game. He was falling behind in lane, so he's still not quite at his same laning strength, but look at him in team fights. Baiting everyone and Team Secret overcommitting on an almost full rage bar Nah. That's a cardinal sin, and it gets punished by SE immediately. Now up to almost 4k gold lead. They're going to collect another dragon after this too. But take another look. Enper, he's already on 80%. So you have a very slim timing window, but they definitely can't make it work. And this is just the perfect choke point. Everyone loves to fight in here. Red and white for Celebrity, while he has short range targets to hit over and over again. 11-6 in kills now, 16 minutes in, and SBTC have the first significant lead of the whole series.
And your way, I just said 500 gold lead. Now your way, 5k gold lead. They just added a 0.
Yeah, and Enper is feeling much more confident now. He's completed his call, he's completed his Trinity Force, he's going into that Run Dreams next. Gonna be a big teamfight threat, and the Nas in this league are actually really good at teamfighting. I know some of our casters really hate Na, but after watching all of this season...
You can say Marby, you can say her name.
After watching so much of the season, I think I kind of like VCS now, because all of them are so good at finding those angles into the back line. There is a Morgana to deal with. There's also a lot of movement speed later on in the game you have to consider with Eddie's ultimate scaling up. But still, I watched Enper play 10 games of Na, and I would be confident in him finding another one of those engages.
Yeah, I mean, look, while he's been on these tanks, it's been a bit of the Corpse Emperor, but now we're right back to the truly resplendent God Emperor of Mankind up in the top lane on the Na. But honestly, you can look at the entire team and they just seem revitalized. After that break, they come back in, they change up the draft, they get back to what they're good at. Maybe the Pantheon's not the pick, but the early aggression is for DNK. He knows what he's doing. And it's just all working.
Let's talk about DA1, because unfortunately so far in the series, we had to slight him a bit, because yeah, he has had a very, very bad series so far. His Ari game was horrific. His second game was not much better, a non-factor, almost a negative factor for his team. But now 104, very good defensive plays. I was super impressed with his top lane of awareness and how he played and moved his champion. This is a much better performance from DA1. And if they want to win this game, yes, they need Enper to step up. Yes, they need Celebrity to be better in team fights. On his comfort champion of Aphelios, he's already looking much better. They also need Dia1, their star mid laner. They were supposed to be another MVP performance, another MVP season. That he needs to finally come online in this super team.
Yeah, it's been pretty fantastic as Paulette has found a pick, but they can't convert on it quite yet. DNK going low, DNK going down, Dia1 over the side, but Artifact will be able to answer. They put him in the cage. Onto the front line is Enper as he takes down one. It's actually going to be Aphelios getting the kill. Zoned out. It's a fight on two fronts. And at the moment, it's just going to be that 1-for-1.
It's a little bit later in the game. I think they completely smashed the enemy team. Now it was a little too early. Enper not quite able to get there in time, but they show some of their awareness for flanking positions. And if Dia1 is a second earlier, if Enper is a second earlier, I think the Team Secret just gets wiped. So they have to be very careful playing around these jungle corridors, these choke points, because into this composition, they all love playing in choke points. All of these champions are amazing in close quarters, so just avoid those situations. You'd never want to run into Dia1 zoning, into Palette's CC, Celebrity CC, or Enper's ultimate. Yeah, Dia1 just arrives at the side. He casts his ultimate now, so imagine that's 5 seconds earlier. He comes in and destroys them. Enper also very, very late on his ultimate there because he couldn't stack it up a little bit quicker. So the idea, the concept of the fight is really reassuring to me, even though the result is not the greatest, considering they're ahead already. But it shows they're able to find proactive approaches and they're actually looking for fights, something they were sorely lacking in the last game.
And you said that this game is being decided by choke points. What I'm afraid is that match point might end up being Secret's choke point.
I love you. That was really clean.
No worries,
hopefully not. Artifact, I in the infamous rap, I had the line, finals absentee. He's a finals absentee. He has never made VCS finals. He is known to be much worse in players than he is in regular season. So far, this series has been a redemption arc because he has been amazing. The rest of his team also stepping up huge in game 1 and 2, but they need to keep going. Hero, after those performances on Aatrox, he goes on different champion for the first time in the series, and the Renekton looks like a handbag. It's not the champion he was hoping for. It's not the performance they were hoping for to close out the series. It's not over. Certainly not. This game looks a little bit doomed if you look at the champions involved, but you never know. SBTC has been known to throw some games away. Just think about 2 days ago, in Game 3 against GAM, they were so close to winning to outscaling, and then GAM found a 5-for-0 team fight. So it's all still possible for Team Secret side.
I mean, just about 20 minutes ago, we saw Top Esports lose with 10k gold lead. Anything is possible in our lovely game of League of Legends your way. That's why we love it so much. Dia1 goes for a little bit of a fish. Comes up empty though. As SE, they are asserting themselves on this map as they have a Gander down the mid lane. This man on your screen, Eddie, picked up a pentakill in the last game, but he's going to have to do even more on the Sivir. A catch onto Enver might get the party started. Boomerang does land. Can they find the damage? They can. The Nara's gone down. Zhuhao flashing on forward with the Soul Shackles. Hits a Dark Binding. Lovely stuff out of this Morgana. But Celebrity's coming in and the guns are firing. Hasn't quite found anything yet, but the health bars are looking low your way. In he goes. Gets the stopwatch out of one. There's a kill. There's another. And SC turn it around and pick themselves up a fight.
I can't believe how different both of these teams are playing this game. They are so aggressive, so many fights. We're truly back in VCS. 22 minutes, guess what? 22 kills. SBTC is running away with this game. Dia1, so much better. He must have connected his mouse or his monitor. I'm not sure, because it's night and day performance. Maybe he just needed that little bit of refreshment after game 2. So praise the long pause, because SBTC is here to stay. They want to mount the reverse sweep, and Team Secret, they are still 2-1, very likely 2-1 up, and they are still on match point, but it's the doubts are creeping in after this smashing.
It absolutely is. This is where they might go back to some bad mental places, but let's have a look at how they turned this one around.
Yeah, the start is super great. They get down the Mini-Gnar, who's so squishy, even on a tank item, but they burst him down immediately. Unfortunately, Eddie goes a little too far, and Dia1 wins the 1v1 duel against Eddie. Really nicely done. Once again, Dia1 is stepping up so much in this fight, and Celebrity on the other side is just so much stronger in close quarters. Sivir against Aphelios is all about how Sivir can navigate all her team members around, because Aphelios, if you just stand toe-to-toe, and if you just go auto-attack for auto-attack, I think Aphelios wins most situations. He also has more range, more things to deal with. Sivir brings more utility to the team and more AoE damage later on, so she really needs to find a way to avoid that just 1v1 matchup in the ADC department. And so far, it's all Celebrity in this game.
It absolutely is. He has bounced back from a not fantastic start to the series, battled through adversity, and he is now in the carry role for his team. More and more items are being completed. Oh, Zhuhao, he's a bit caught out. You can't black shield a wall as he's trapped behind it on the wrong side. Taken down. Enper picks himself up another.
And it's so funny to me to look at this draft and see SBTC pick the Pantheon that defeated Team Secret and slammed Team Secret in the first series game of playoffs. And then on the other side, they pick Morgana into the SBTC that is so familiar with the Morgana, because they actually beat Gum on Morgana. So
what are you trading this Baron for? Just an outer tower?
They can't really contest the Baron. They've tried so many times to team fight, and it didn't really lead to anything. So Team Secret, this is very akin to how they like to play, just playing, spreading the map, trying to get a little bit here and there, a little bit of extra money.
Teleport though your way.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth it.
It does seem a little bit desperate, and I think it is, but I don't actually hate it too much. It's a very early Baron. If you can somehow defend with all your wave clear against the Baron onslaught, it should actually give you a little bit more gold from the standing gold you collected and the objective bounties there too. The big problem for them is the upcoming Ocean Soul, and the Baron is gonna persist very ever so slightly into Ocean Soul for 10 seconds roundabout. SBTC will hold on to that buff while also taking the dragon. So Team Secret needs to find a way into the dragon pit, needs to find a way to secure some vision to not just get picked off like they have been for the last 2, 3, even 10 minutes.
Yeah, I still think it's such an interesting decision, but you can see that SE currently only plus 600 gold from the Baron play, which actually means the play post the Baron was in Team Secret's favor, because you get 1500 gold just for killing the Baron itself. Maybe it gets them to a break point that they feel they can fight, because if you actually look at the items right now, it's 3 items for each ADC.
Exactly.
They can fight in the next minute or so. After that, it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, actually, looking at the items, completed items, they're almost similar in all positions. So SBTC just living on those little extra items, completed boots, stopwatches in inventory, and so on. So in terms of raw power, they should be on almost equal terms. Oh, there we go.
Penguin
There's the
goes
engagement.
in, but the wall comes in at the same time. Perfect timing for Dia 1. Penguin chunked down incredibly low. Tower will fall. Team Secret, I think, just have to surrender the inhibitor. I think their best bet here is to make it hard to reset. But that's so hard against Baron buff.
40 seconds till the dragon spawns, and DNK is actually rather low. Unfortunately, he is Pantheon. He can ultimate his way back to the dragon if he has to. Team Secret now on the chase. They really want to poke someone down. The artifact... That was almost game losing if he gets caught there, but good reaction.
DNK gets back. He has that Grand Starfall, as you said. Can man drop towards the pit? But this, Yue, should be the fight that locks it up for SE, assuming they can get the job done. With how far ahead they are, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. There's also no Cataclysm for Penguin. They can't get this lockdown, but the chains land. Paulette has to flash. DNK flies in. Gets on top of Eddie, but can't finish him off. Hero with a big Carl the Meek in the backline. And it's Team Secret figuring it out. They've lost one. Artifact in the backline going low. Celebrity will fall. And that's a disaster. Now it's Dia 1 and Enpa with the world on their shoulders. They've got full health bars. They've got more health than Team Secret. Out comes the wall. He finds Eddie. Eddie has to flash away. Zhuhao goes gold. He'll go down. Never mind. Flashes away. Penguin secreted away in the bush. SE can't quite find him. And that means they can't take the dragon. Zhuhao will go down to the minions. Huge mistake. Artifact has rejoined his team with the teleport. Penguin still has Guardian Angel as they find their way onto Enpa. They change their mind. Go towards Dia 1. He goes gold. Eddie will fall. And it's these two members of SE desperately trying to keep this one going. Enpa now full rage bar. The Emperor charges forward. And these peasants have no choice but to flee.
We are back to the start of the season, to the start of this split where SBTC was fighting for first place because their solo laners were amazing. And here we see the old rookie and the shy meme. Everyone dies, but the two solo laners actually carry the fight and they will get this Ocean Soul even after that amazing engage. I still really like the read from Team Secret. They see Paulette, they spot him in this bush and instantly call the trigger. Paulette has to flash away and now the fight is a little bit in disarray for the side of SBTC. Celebrity instantly singled out and Artifact also getting on top of him there. It takes a little while to kill him, but they still get the job done. Unfortunately, all the health bars are too low to really contend with these super strong level 16 solo laners, and especially the Mininar. In the late game, he almost acts as a second ADC if he gets to auto attack, and that's just a little bit too scary. Do we really have to shame Zuhal like this?
I mean, he didn't have a choice.
You could have W'd the minions.
Yeah.
Might have given him some healing there, but he was probably dead anyway. If we look at this, Eddie, he's playing his little heart out, but unfortunately gets chased down by the big bad Gnar. Really nicely played from Dia 1 as well. He tries to predict the flash from Artifact. Cute little play. Didn't quite work out for him. But now SBTC on Soul and marching down the top lane. Bot lane inhibitor is already secured. The minions are streaming in. This should be all she wrote for this game.
It should be, but it might not be. Team Secret showing that they can still fight, even from this massive deficit. They have the coordination, they have the chutzpah to keep themselves in this one.
Pinging bot lane, someone needs to go. If it is Sivir, she's gonna clear rather quickly, but she also needs to run back to the top side then in record time. She is a very quick champion, but here we go.
Uniquely suited to that, as Hero will clear out one wave, but DNK, man drops forward, just zones them away, and now Dia 1 puts up the wall. Just sectioning them off for now, but they don't need to pull the trigger too much. They will catch out onto Hero. He goes low. He goes down to the Aphelios. Penguin extremely low as well. The Cataclysm used, and the minion wave is already there in the mid lane. There's a big hook into the kill. Zhuhao falls, and SE will push us to a game number 4.
What a comeback performance from SBTC. They actually just slam the Pantheon in the first rotation and it strikes fear into their opponents' hearts. They remember Bean Jay's Pantheon, and DNK actually put so much work in with the help of his two solo laners. Celebrity played much better in this game as well, and it's a deserved fourth game for SBTC. They're not out. They're not down and out yet. It's literally the last chance for them. They can't lose a single game to make Worlds, but maybe it is time for them to shine as they take down the Nexus in 32 minutes, and we have a fourth game.
That we do, and what do you know? Putting Enpa back on carries is the way to go.